Hey Sketchy friends, so here it is, day number 7 of the 7-day urban sketching at home challenge, and this is basically just putting everything together or sketching a day in your life. It doesn't have to be done in just one day. I know people have things to do. So if it's a day, if it's a sketch of your week or whatever, then that's also fine. You can just add little sketches to your sketchbook spread as you go throughout the week, something like that, then that's perfect. I had some time today, so I did sort of sketch throughout the day, and I'm starting here in the bottom left-hand corner with something you're probably looking at like, what the hell is that? It's a gift that I bought my friend in Botswana, and it's like a wooden bowl with a giraffe carved in it, that kind of thing. But the person who I bought it from, the stall, they very kindly wrapped it in newspaper and taped it up so that I could get it back in the car back to South Africa without hopefully damaging it. I haven't opened it, so I don't know, but I think it's in one piece. But it's been sitting on the table, and I just thought it'd make a really interesting sketch, and I was actually really happy with how this one turned out. I didn't know how it was going to go, but definitely trying to capture elements of the headlines or broken piece of the headlines and like bits of text and stuff. It just made it look really, really cool, so I quite liked it. And I'm continuing with using the brown ink. That is the thing that I've taken from this challenge, is I've just sort of rediscovered / fallen in love with using brown ink. I have tried in the past and I really didn't like it. So I've got some sort of brown fine liners on the shelf. But yeah, I don't know if it's just this fountain pen with this De Archimentis document ink in it. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I've been using that, and I was quite happy with how this little sketch came out. I thought it was really cool. And then we also bought a little gift for our house when we went to Botswana as well, because we like to sort of just get one little thing each time we travel. So I added that behind this sketch as well. But you can see that I'm sort of developing this first sketch quite a lot. I'm painting it all. I'm not drawing everything out because I didn't really know where the sketchbook spread was going to go. So I'm sort of like quite heavily working on this one just because I genuinely was really enjoying it. I thought it looked really good and close to what I was actually seeing. So I was quite happy with this little illustration. But yeah, sort of moving on to the giraffe. And I do realise my hand's in the way of this drawing. Sorry about that. I do change the camera angle at some stage. But again, another thing I'd like to point out is that not using any pencil, and that is something that I really want to work on more, because I was really happy with how the day 2 sketch came out where I drew directly in ink. And really, certainly for a lot of the sketching I do, there really is no reason to use pencil. It's just it's a crutch almost. And, you know, it's been brought to my attention that drawing directly in pen is more dynamic, more immediate, that kind of thing. So whilst I don't think there's anything wrong in drawing with pencil first, and certainly for more complex subject matters, I probably will do that. But yeah, I think when I can, I should try and almost like not be lazy. I should just try and draw in ink and just observe a bit more carefully. Yeah, anyway, so it's really interesting doing this challenge. I'm sort of learning things about my process or about my way of drawing. I'm challenging myself on certain things. So I really encourage you to do the same, especially if you've done this challenge before. And if you're like maybe a slightly more experienced sketcher or whatever, try and push yourself outside of your comfort zone, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe try a new material, even if it is something very small, like changing your color of ink, like I've done. If you also use pencil, maybe try and draw more directly in ink. Just try and push yourself outside of your comfort zone a little bit with this. If you're a beginner and this is very new to you, then just do what you're doing. You know, just draw from life. That's your challenge. Just not drawing from photographs, drawing from life, what's in front of you, whatever it is. And hopefully this challenge has given you a lot of ideas on what you can draw in your sketchbook. So now moving on to a hat that I finished crocheting last night. Some of you may know that I've tried to learn crochet in the past few weeks, and actually with the help of Craftsy, who's sponsored a few videos lately. I've been watching some stuff on there, also some stuff on YouTube as well. There's some really great free stuff you can just grab off of YouTube. And yeah, so I think this is, let me see, this is beanie hat number 4, I think. This one's taken a really long time though, because I went away, and then yeah, now I've finished it finally. I'm not sure if I'm too happy with it though, because I think I've used the wrong wool, or I don't know. I suppose it's like sketching or learning anything, because you're bound to do the wrong stuff for a while, and then accidentally you do the right thing, and yada yada. It's all learning a new skill, but it's very meditative. I'm quite enjoying doing this in front of the TV, because I obviously know what I'm doing now. But I do think I need to stop just crocheting the same hat over and over again, and maybe move on to a different project. Saying that though, I really want to I keep like making them for friends. I really want to make another friend one. So we'll see how that goes. But it was quite fun to try and very loosely try and indicate some crochet patterns on here. Certainly not exactly what I'm seeing in real life, but I think it gives the effect of something sort of crocheted or knitted or whatever. So I think that's fine. And again, still using this brown ink in this fountain pen that I've just got recently, which is the Noodler's Ahab Flex. I really wanted to try a flex nib fountain pen. And whilst this is not too, I don't feel like it's too exaggerated. There's only a bit of a slight flex in it. So it's not, it doesn't give me the line variation that like I get from the Fude nib fountain pen, for example, which is like the dark green one that I've got with the bent nib, which you probably would have seen in, if you've watched any of my videos recently at least. And but that's fine. This one's still quite fun to draw with, and you can get enough line variation. I'm enjoying drawing with it either way, so that's fine. And as you can see, this brown ink that I'm using is waterproof. So it is the first ink that I've used outside of platinum carbon ink, and it is the Archamentis document ink, which I know a lot of sketchers use. I think like Liz Steele and various people use it, and I just never have, because I don't think I could ever get it here. But yeah, I just saw it for sale at the same shop that I bought the pen from in Cape Town, and I was like, well, they did little small sampler pots, little 3 milliliter sample pots. So I was like, let me just give it a go. But yeah, next time I'll order something from them, which God knows when that'll be, but I will maybe grab the bigger bottle of this ink, because I really like it. I think it's really nice. And they do all kinds of colours in this brand as well, so that's pretty cool. So just painting this hat, this like the nice teal colour that it is, leaving some broken or some areas of the page white just to kind of give it a bit of life, just over on the right hand side there. And sorry about the focusing issues. I am filming with my iPhone for this particular one, and obviously it is focusing on my hand now and again, so sorry about that. I have definitely been experimenting with filming with different items throughout this challenge as well, just because, yeah, my top-down camera is kind of very fixed in my sort of room, my studio. So I wanted something a bit more portable, so I've been trying the GoPro, but also trying the iPhone. I really like how the iPhone footage comes out, actually. I think it's really nice. I like the GoPro as well. The iPhone is better in the low light or inside, I would say. But yes, yeah, so I'm just sort of trying both. But I now have changed the camera to the left-hand side of the page, which makes sense because I am right-handed, so I'm not getting my hand in the way. So I'm later in the day, I'm sat outside now. Tex is sort of sitting in the sun, keeping warm because it's a bit chilly, but the wood of the deck is nice and warm, so he's sort of splayed out over there. And I'm just really enjoying like the shadows that the plants along the decking were creating there, and I thought that would be really nice to try and capture that. So first there's Tex with his arms out straight in front of him. He loves lying like that, kind of in his Superman pose. So I'm just trying to capture him quickly before he moves, and of course, being a cat, he did move fairly swiftly after this, but I managed to capture his overall shape. which is nice and quick because this doesn't involve too many lines really with sketching the cat, especially from the back like that. And yeah, just moving on to the plants along the decking. I do wish I had maybe drawn them a little smaller. I just didn't feel like I had enough space to really express the really cool shadow shapes that I wanted to get. But you know, it's a small detail, and it's still a nice little moment just sat in the garden, watching the cat and just kind of chilling out and getting warm, because it's way warmer outside than it is inside the house currently. I also just feel with the brown ink, because it is lighter than the black ink, I don't mind if and I think this is helping with drawing directly in ink as well, I don't mind if I overlap things or draw over the top. And that is something that I do remember reading in Roisin Curé's book, which is one of the Urban Sketching Handbook series. It's her book on drawing people, because she uses brown ink, and she shows in the book, she demonstrates how, you know, she might draw something a bit wrong, but then she'll just restate over the top. And then once you've added the watercolor in, you don't even see the wrong lines. And I think I agree. I think I'm finding that with the brown, which is helping me move to drawing directly in ink, because doesn't feel quite so permanent as the black, or quite so obvious, let's say. So I'm putting these shadow shapes in now because I don't know, I got like weirdly paranoid the sun was going to move too much and then they weren't going to be there anymore. And you can see like the paint from the wet plant pot has seeped down into the shadow. I don't mind that though, because actually you'll see once it dries, it actually makes quite a pleasing effect, and it almost makes it look like the red of the pot is reflecting onto the deck. So it actually looks really quite interesting and quite cool. So I quite like that accident. And then, yeah, just using sort of yellows and greens, and you know, some of that plant had like pinky reds on the tips, just very, very loosely. And then I thought I just wanted to restate a few things in the black ink, actually. All of this is just me sort of experimenting. We're like, oh, maybe that will look good, maybe it won't. Adding some more leaves on top, but the paint was still kind of wet, so I sort of gave up on that for the minute until it's dry again. Then I'm painting text with a bit of moon glow and a bit of brown, wet and wet, just to make like quite a fun colour of his fur there. And then, you know, adding some accents with the white gel pen, which is always fun and really sort of brings things to life a bit. I'm a big fan of using the white gel pen. Sorry that I'm a bit off camera here. And now just adding some more sort of texture and hatching to text, and drawing over the top. I think, yeah, this is a brown fine liner here. Just drawing over the top of the plant, just adding some more leaves. And then I thought maybe let me just add some background here so I can see the green of the grass behind these plants, which I thought might look quite nice. I was worried it might make it look a bit like the plants weren't going to stand out enough, but now I've got my black fountain pen and I'm just adding some thick bits of black in places just to make those plants really pop forward, and I think that works quite nicely. And so you can notice I've added some sort of text and labelling to things, which I'm enjoying at the moment. Also more so my travel sketches as well. I just think it looks more interesting, especially if I've got something to actually say about the items, especially on this spread. Otherwise it would just be a collection of random items and it'd be like, well, what does any of this mean? So even though it's my sketchbook, I just like to make a little memory that something's a gift for someone, or this is something we just bought like whilst we went on a trip, and etc, etc. So I haven't written anything about the plants because it was just like a moment sat in the garden just having a rest, and yeah, nothing required to add there. And then I had to go out and do some food shopping, and then I remembered that I really wanted to buy my friend another gift, and I wanted to get her a bottle of champagne. It's not really champagne because it doesn't come from Champagne in France, but it's a bottle of bubbles anyway. So I thought, oh, that would actually work quite nicely in this blank corner on the top right. So I've added that in as well. And then I'm just sort of darkening the tabletop behind these items because it was quite light, and just sort of adding some streaks in there. I wasn't sure if I really liked it very much though, so I don't know. I didn't go too crazy with that. And then, yeah, just painting this bottle of bubbles. And the most exciting or important part of this is painting the glass of the bottle, which is also quite fun. So I've used like a darker green and then like a lighter green, and then I'm just kind of like a bit of wet and wet, just letting the colours touch a bit, just to kind of give it that blurred, glassy kind of look. And then just adding some really, really dark green bits in places as well, just to really bring out the contrast of the bottle, but trying to reserve those areas of lighter shades of green just so it gives it that effect of glass really, and like the light sort of shining through it. So I quite like how that came out. I think it came out quite nicely. And then just sort of adding some sort of drop shadows to things, to the hat, the crochet hook, the needle and the scissors there. Adding a little note about the bubbles. And then getting the white gel pen out as well, again, just to enhance a few things. And that's my day 7. So I just wanted to show you my 2021 version quickly. As you can see, some nice little sketches there, you know, throughout the day. I do think this one, some of them I from 2021, I felt like, oh, maybe the 2021 version wasn't too bad actually. And this one's not bad, but I do actually prefer my 2025 version. I just think it's probably laid out a bit better for the 2025 version, and everything sort of works together and the illustrations kind of merge together a bit better. But other than that, I think the 2021 version was great. The 2025 version's good as well. I really enjoyed putting this together, and it just makes me realize I really enjoy like little journaling like this, where you're just recording little moments of your day. I think there's something very special about it, and it just creates a really nice memory. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this challenge. I hope it's made you see that you can practice your skills at home as well as when you're traveling, whether it be in your local area or somewhere more exotic. But yeah, you can still practice at home, and I really encourage you to practice as much as you can when you get a chance at home, because it will just, every time you sit down to draw something from life, will just increase your skills, your observation skills, your drawing skills. That's not to say that you shouldn't also practice from photographs as well, because there's some stuff that we just don't have access to in real life. Especially for me living here in Johannesburg, for example, I don't have access to the amazing architecture that I used to have access to when I lived in London, as an example. So, you know, drawing those kinds of buildings from photos, especially when you're starting out, is absolutely fine. So please don't think you're only allowed to draw things from life. They're just two different skills, but both will build up your drawing ability so that when you do, let's say, go on travels, or you do go out with an urban sketching chapter or whatever, then you've got your skills that you're working on to be able to draw whatever's in front of you. Don't forget, if you want to join the challenge and receive those emails day by day, you can do so below. If you prefer just to have a watch of the videos as you like, then there is a playlist with both the 2021 version of the sketch and then the 2025 version of the sketch. But I really hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, I will look forward to seeing some of your sketches that you guys tag me in now and again on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram but you desperately want to send me your sketch, then you can just email me as well. My email details are on my YouTube channel. So thanks very much, guys, for watching this. I hope you've watched the whole series, and I hope you've enjoyed it and seeing the differences as well between 2021 and 2025. And I'll see you soon in the next video.